All right, what's up, you guys? Fight week, Errol Spence, Kell Brook fight in a couple of days. All right, I've been watching all the media showing the media workouts, the press conference today. I was watching some of that this morning, and we're all ready for the fight. I'm ready for the fight. Okay. If you don't know, I picked Kell Brook. Okay, I did a thorough breakdown of the fight. If you haven't seen it, make sure you check it out. I will leave it in the comments. I will leave it in the description. Okay, it's a thorough breakdown of this fight where I say what both fighters need to do to win. You know, I discussed the opponents they face. I break down everything in that video. All right, it's a pretty lengthy video, but it's well received. Check that out if you haven't. All right. Now, fight week. I'm going to discuss a lot of things that I've heard, comments that I've read, things I've heard from uploaders on YouTube. I'm going to break all that stuff down, all right? The weigh-in. Obviously, I can't break that down because that'll be tomorrow. But based on what I've seen, Kell Brook should be making weight just fine, okay? I know that was a huge concern with a lot of the fans. But Kell Brook is going to be making weight. You know, I think he's only a pound away. He was like a pound away a few days ago. All right, so he should be making weight without any problems. Okay, that was a major concern. Also, size. That's the thing about with boxing fans today, and I'm going to make a video discussing this because it's becoming a little bit of a problem. A lot of people are basing their pick on size. Okay, I don't know why. These guys are two big welterweights. You can make the argument that Spence is even bigger than Kell Brook, being that he's taller. You can make the argument that Kell Brook is a little wider. I don't know, but these guys are both walking around the same weight, at the same weight as each other outside of the ring when they're not fighting. They're close to the same size to me, close enough to where weight and size is not a factor. I don't believe it's a factor. It's all based on skills. We don't have enough people right now out there talking about the skill set of the two. We're talking about everything else but the actual skill set when discussing this fight. You know, not everybody, but most people are. Okay, based on what I've seen and heard. All right. Size is not going to be a factor. A lot of people bring up things like Kell Brook and his fight with Triple G, you know, is he fully recovered, all right, with his eye and everything. Well, what I do know is that Errol Spence isn't Triple G, okay? First off, he's not Triple G. Errol Spence doesn't fight like Triple G. Errol Spence is not as big as Triple G, okay? Errol Spence doesn't hit harder than Triple G, okay? What I saw from Triple G that fight, I'm just not expecting the same from Errol Spence. All right? Triple G used his size to walk Kell Brook down, pressure him, didn't care about getting hit. He knew he was fighting welterweight and put himself in danger to get the stoppage. Triple G broke Kell Brook's eye socket, excuse me, pretty early in the fight. And Kell Brook was able to stand and not get knocked down once for the rest of the time he was getting the crap beaten out of him. Okay? You got to take note in that. All right? There's times when Kell Brook was getting beaten up. Carson Jones won. Where he was able to survive. Okay? And recover while getting hurt. You got to take that into consideration. All right? Another thing is Kell Brook moving back down to 147, all right, from fighting at 160. A lot of people think that's a huge reason on why Kell Brook might lose his fight. Listen, I know it happened to Roy Jones. I know Roy Jones went up to heavyweight, won the title, came back down, got knocked out by Antonio Tarver. Listen, I know, I understand. But these are all things that could be a factor in a fight. It's not fact. If I break down a fight I want to break down the fighters themselves, the skill set. I'm not going to throw all of these other tangibles in there because they might not play a role at all in a fight. You know, these guys are the same size to me. All right, there's no gap in size between the two of them. Kell Brook went and fought one time at 160, okay? And he seems to be making weight without any trouble at all at 147, okay? I know he had a broken eye socket, all right? I know that, but he recovered from it. Okay, he's not fighting Triple G in a rematch. He's fighting Errol Spence, all right? Socially, a lot of people break down a fight on how they feel socially about him. A lot of Errol Spence fans want Errol Spence to win because whatever reason, it's because he's American, you know, because they like him as a fighter. I like him as a fighter too. I seen the Showtime reveal interview. I mean, how can you not want this guy to win? This guy said, after I beat Kell Brook, I'm going to fight Keith Thurman. After I beat Keith Thurman, I want to fight Manny Pacquiao and become undisputed, then go up to 154. How can you not want a guy like that to win? The dude is humble, very classy, all right? The guy beat up Broner in sparring and didn't make a fool out of him. The guy gave Floyd Mayweather, you know, allegedly a black eye. He didn't, like, hype it up. The guy's extremely humble, very classy. How can you not want him to win? But when I break down these fights, I try to not give my personal biases. I'm going to give you my prediction based on what I see between the two fighters in the ring. And that's it. All right? Because this is the only reason why I have credibility on this channel, because I'm giving you a technical breakdown of the fight. You know? People want Errol Spence to win, but they're basing it off on everything but inside of the ring. Not everyone, but a lot of people are. Same thing with Kell Brook. A lot of Kell Brook supporters, a lot of people want Kell Brook to win because they want the Errol Spence supporters to shut up. You know, I peeped that. You know, if you're here on YouTube, a lot of the uploaders are supporters of Errol Spence, all right? They don't like those channels, so they come here and they're like, well, yeah, you know, I want Errol Spence to win because I want them to shut the Errol's, or I want Kell Brook to win because I want them to shut the Spence supporters and the nut huggers and the, you know, all that. So I get it. You know, I get what people are saying. I see why people want certain fighters to win socially, you know, but at the end of the day, when those two get in the ring, that's all that matters. When that bell rings, that's all that matters. All this personal reasons or what vendettas people have is not going to really matter once they step in the ring, you know? So, you know, these are all of the things that I've heard leading up to this fight. The reason why I'm picking Kell Brook to win, I know it's not the popular to pick. Okay, I think from my experience of talking to people, listening to uploaders, the media, okay, reading the comments, most people think Errol Spence is going to win this fight, even by stoppage, okay? It's hard for me to keep hearing that and still stand by Kell Brook. For what I see is Kell Brook outboxing Spence. What I see is Spence not being as aggressive as he normally is because he has to worry about that right hand. He's going to get touched and it's going to make him a lot more hesitant in the ring, okay, when pressuring Kell Brook. He needs to pressure Kell Brook. That's the only way he's going to win this fight. People that thinks Spence is going to win by stoppage are forgetting that he needs to pressure Kell Brook heavy in order to do that. But Kell Brook defensively is better than anybody that Errol Spence fought by far. He's quicker. He has a bigger punch than all of these guys. All right? And he moves extremely well, and he's extremely durable. You know, these are all of the factors that are going to play into this fight. I'm very confident in my pick. I like Errol Spence, but this guy, Kell Brook, is the worst stylistically for him right now on the come up. It's the worst guy. There's much more potential in Errol Spence because he has a lot more time to go. And I really think he could probably beat everybody else in the division. But right now, as far as today and him fighting Kell Brook, it's not going to be his time. Not right now. That's just my personal opinion. So with that being said, I'm very confident in my pick. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't care about being wrong. I don't care about that. You know, I didn't place any bets because I'm not sure. You know, I'm not sure. I do think Errol Spence is very good. I just don't think he could beat Kell Brook. All right. I even think that Kell Brook has a better chance of stopping Errol Spence. Yes, I believe that because at least with Kell Brook, I was able to see him get the crap beaten out of him a couple times, and he still stood and fought. He stood his ground. You know, at 160, I seen him do it against a guy that is used to knocking out bigger fighters. You know, very quickly. Kell Brook was getting that crap beaten out of him, and he was still standing against Triple G. Errol Spence got power at 147. He does. But I don't think he's on Triple G's level. I don't. You know? I just don't. All right? So I think, you know, at least with Errol Spence, I don't know how durable he is. You know, I've seen him get hurt once. And outside of that, I haven't seen him really get hurt. But I haven't seen him fight anyone good. Last point I want to make, you know, I've been watching a lot of film of these two over and over again. And nothing has changed. You know, when I'm bored, I tune in into one of their older fights. And when I watch, you know, a lot of people just kind of dismiss the Frankie Gavin fight. And I'm going to tell you, in my opinion, I was more impressed with Kell Brook's performance against Frankie Gavin. And I know, you know, and I watched that fight because Frankie Gavin is a southpaw. So is Errol Spence. But I was more impressed with Kell Brook beating Frankie Gavin than I was with Errol Spence beating Chris Algieri. Because Frankie Gavin is a really slick fighter. Good counterpuncher, good defense, fast hands. All right? He's pretty slick. He's pretty good. He's not on Errol Spence's level. Okay? He doesn't have the size. He doesn't have the power. He doesn't have the length. All right? He doesn't bring that kind of pressure. You know? He's not as good on his front foot. But he's very good on his back foot. You know? And he has good defense. I was impressed with that performance in the way that Kell Brook was able to stop him fighting a southpaw. More impressed than the Algieri fight with Spence, because Algieri to me is a fake slick fighter. I'm not trying to diss him. It's just that the way he fights and his movements, he moves as if he's a slick fighter. And I just don't really look at him as a slick fighter like that. I don't think his defense and his reflexes are as good as a Frankie Gavin. You know? Now, if they were to fight each other, I'll probably give Chris Algieri. I think Chris would beat him by decision because Chris Algieri would be coming forward, which is what he's better at doing, in my opinion. You know, I know he beat Provodnikov by being defensive and moving a lot. You know, and I thought he was impressive against Amir Khan a little bit, you know, coming forward. But he was trying to play like he was slick against Errol Spence, and it didn't work for him. You know why? Because he just doesn't have the reflexes and the defense to get out of the way from Errol Spence, you know? And I just wasn't impressed with that win. I mean, it was impressive that Errol Spence stopped him, but I don't believe that Chris Algieri gave him a challenge. That's what I'm saying. I think Gavin gave Kell Brook more of a challenge. That's just my personal opinion, you know? And this is what I say when people bring up resumes. A lot of people, I can tell, haven't really seen Kell Brook fight like that. They've seen the Triple G fight and they've seen the Sean Porter fight, and they're saying, well, I've seen him fight those two guys, and I've seen Errol Spence beat Algieri and Bundle, and they're like, well, I'm more impressed with Spence. Well, you're going to be more impressed with Spence because those two fighters are not as good, not nearly as good as the other two that Kell Brook had to fight. Neither one of them. You know, Bundle and Algieri is not on Sean Porter's level, and they're damn not on Triple G's level. So it's easy to pick Spence. I think we're going to learn a lot about the two fighters. I have Kell Brook winning by decision, even possibly by stoppage. But I'm going to stick to the decision, okay? I'm going to stick with that. But I would not be surprised at all if Kell Brook was to stop Errol Spence, to land a shot that hurts him and put him away. I would not be surprised at all right? But I'm going to stick to decision. I think Errol Spence could win, but I don't think it's going to be his day. All right?